Sailing on Barnegat Bay is special. You've got good, reliable winds, 13 engaged yacht clubs, plus Ocean County College. There's a culture here that wants to excel on the water, but not take it too hard that you forget about the social aspects. And the wonderful thing about sailing on Barnegat Bay is it lasts a lifetime, and therefore it connects to generations. It's been really fun for me over the past nearly 50 years now to watch collegiate sailing grow. And the teams that do well have a couple fundamental attributes. First, you've got to have the culture and the backing of the administration. They want to have a sailing team. Secondly, you've got to have a good program with a good coach, good administration. And then third, you need a fleet of boats, and you have to have a place to keep those boats. You look at all the top teams across America, they have a facility. If Ocean County College wants to compete at the highest levels and has proven that they have the talent, they have the administration behind them, they need to have a home. And that's why a facility like this is so important. And once you have that facility, you'll go for decades.
One aspect of this program that I'm especially proud of is the way it touches the community in so many ways. Not only are we working with our own collegiate sailing program, in which we compete against four-year colleges and universities up and down the East Coast, not only are we working to make this available to those who are less fortunate because of their disability, but we also have had an impact on high school sailing programs, on those programs at yacht clubs that require the use of boats and don't have them available because we lend the boats out to anybody who's out there interested. And that is one of the features of this program. It's a community sailing center, and anyone who is interested in sailing, anyone who wants to learn about the rich heritage of sailing in the Barnegat Bay will have a great opportunity to do that at the J. Phillips Sitter Center for Sailing and Marine Arts and Sciences.
The need for high school and collegiate sailing has grown so dramatically here on the Jersey Shore, specifically Barnegat Bay, that it needs a sailing center. At one time there was only one high school with a team. Today there are 16 high schools with varsity sailing teams, but where's their home? That's why this facility is crucial if we're going to be successful going forward.
So welcome to Sedge Island. This is the McLean House, and you're going to learn all about Mr. McLean, who is my environmental hero.
The problem with the bay and the estuary used to be sewage and point source pollution from Toms River Chemical. That was fixed in the 70s with centralized sewers and the closing of the plant. Today the problem is mostly nitrogen coming in from all sorts of pollution. Here's where people can help. Everybody has to get on board, learn about fertilizer, learn about what they can do about driving cars and all the other sources of nitrogen that come in, and make for eutrophication. That is the buildup of algae in the bay.
We'll go past some osprey nests. Guess who helped the osprey come back here? Mr. McLean.
Good job. Both these girls got in and did it right. That's excellent.
The sailing center that you're building is in the perfect place because it's right in the center of all the issues that are going to happen with Toms River and Barnegat Bay. You're very close to Beechwood, which was last year and for the past few years the most heavily polluted beach in the country.
Here we go.
Right.
Okay, girls, ready?
We need to give the kids this opportunity. They're learning to sail. They need to learn about the resource, the water that they're sailing on. That's the important thing. They have to get it about that environment that they're using. Because they're using it, now they're going to learn how to protect it. This is the perfect opportunity to educate these kids that have been sailing on the bay for their entire lives.
The biggest challenge for disabled sailors is facilities and accessibility. New Jersey doesn't have any facilities for disabled sailing, and so our disabled sailors wind up going down to St. Petersburg or sailing in Annapolis or going other places where they have the facilities. As we said, you need to have the particular facilities to enable people to access the water.
When
When I had my accident, I was 43 years old, and I was devastated. I was depressed and miserable. And my friends basically kicked my behind off the fence, and I went back sailing, and it was a savior. It was almost like a religious experience. I mean, I was a sailor before. I never thought that I would enjoy the opportunity of that adventure, the travel, the camaraderie with my buddies as I have now.
22 years ago, my ex-wife told me in the morning on April 27, 1985, that she was pregnant with my now 21-year-old daughter. And in the afternoon, I went out to tell my brother he was going to be an uncle on my 10-speed bike. Coming home from, he lived up the hill and I lived at the bottom of the hill, and I never got to the bottom of the hill. A young girl at the intersection where my house was, and was waiting to make a left, and she made a left right on me. I didn't see her. I was looking down, I looked up, and she was on me. And then when I woke up, they said, this is wrong, that's wrong, and oh, by the way, you're paralyzed. And so you know, life changes, but you know, it's what you do with those changes who define who you are. And in everybody's life, I tell them constantly when I'm lecturing on traumatic rehab, that in a blink of an eye, your life will change. It's what happened after that blink that makes you who you are.
It was a blast, man. We were beating it upwind in the big waves, turn around and have a blast surfing downwind. It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, with disabled sailing, one of the greatest things is after I go racing, we all get out and we go back to the clubhouse, and I get in my wheelchair, and people always do the double take, and then they didn't understand that I was out there, a paralyzed person, racing with them and just competing equally. So a lot of people aren't aware that we are as good or sometimes better than able-bodied people because we're good sailors and not because we're physically disabled.
Our institution is not exclusive to able-bodied individuals, nor should our sailing program be either. We need to create an environment that's open to anyone that would endeavor to push themselves, their mind, their bodies to the fullest. And so we're very proud that we're going to be able to make this available to those who are disabled.
The excitement that I have every day, just getting on the water, going to a new regatta, seeing some new guys, getting out of their chairs and getting into boats. I relive that experience almost every day. I know the battle that I had the first couple of years, but sailing saved my life, truly. And I say that with great, I guess I'm just grateful that I have it.
Sailing is an interesting and entertaining sport, but for the disabled, it can be a life-affirming therapy. This is a facility that we've needed for a long time in New Jersey, and I hope we can all make it finally happen.